Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 3 replay. Spawn on the right side as the blue French with Tito. On the left side as the red Russians with KindaCat. Looks like the exotic doggo does go down, and the forest pupper is trying to stop him from collecting the treasure. Let's take a look and see what natives in the map. Got the Cree. The Cree allows you to pull out the Cree trackers, which sounds a Cree rifleman, good line of sight and long range, which sounds like it's a skirmisher variant. And you also get the Cree Couriers de Bolus, which means you have access to some French villagers that are not French in Age 2. And of course, we got the Huron settlement. The Huron will of course give you the Huron mantlet, similar to the Iroquois mantlets, which is just a straight up heavy roller ranged unit. And that is going to be it for the natives. And once each player starts getting their shipments on in, we can review what cars they've gone for. Oh, looks like the Russian player got the skin for, so his hero's not a bear with a stick. More of a branch, really, than a stick. But either way, we do have the first shipment available. Let's see what that he goes for. Wonder if we see it, yep, it does go and get selected there. We do now have the couriers. We do, of course, got the French team auxiliary combat. Natives increase health and damage. Pioneers for increased health with villagers, which makes... There's a method that the French can make their villagers basically invulnerable. And Akin regime ships one royal embassy, which in the House of Bourbon grants access to royal units, upgrades to new technology. Your Bourbon units now cost population and when acquired from the royal embassy or from home. And of course you get access to, say, the royal, just like royal musketeer, royal dragoon, things of that sort. Of course you got more couriers, wood, gold, crossbows, more native cards, shipment of natives, native health and damage increase. Native point increase will also improve the villager hit points as well, so you can get plus 85% hit points. And Edict of Nanits, proof of church improvement. Of course, we got the wood, Cossiers, Falconets, Royal Mint, Armored Pistoliers, Mercenary, Giant Grenadier, Mercenary. Thoroughbreds decrease the cost of all French stable units by 15%, which actually is quite nice. Who doesn't want cheap cavalry? More Cossiers, some heavy cannon, factory, and of course the Bourbon allies. Shipment of 25 musketeers. And also sets them to veteran status as well, so if you don't go for any research, this can at least give you some free research as well. So I got the wood being claimed there. And let's take a look at see what his opponent's deck had. Of course, we do have the town militia. We do also have wood trickle rate. Gotta make sure I don't have the hero selected. Economic theory, give increased gathering rate for all of his villagers. Very useful to help compete with the French villagers. Wood, gold, streelets. New order regiments, Borshik, Ruget, and Shrilets attack and hit points. That makes it cheap, even more powerful. Cossacks, native treaties, advanced arsenal to get the advanced research, and spice trade, which makes your villagers gather from natural food resources better. Wood, gold, Shreelet combat, make our dirt cheap Shreelets even better. Porshix, junior officer, heavy hand infantry with large attack, which I think is a halberdier variant. Cossacks, Opizhnix, fast rating cavalry, good at raiding buildings. I think they have one population each as well. I nope, that's the other one. Cossacks, right? Yeah, Cossacks only have one population for a cavalry unit. Cavalry archers, falconets, and higher Manchurian cavalry archers. For the Horde, each blockhouse will do a one-time muster of 5 Streltsy, which actually doesn't exceed your population cap, but does keep in the reserve until they have spare population room. It turns all your recruits in Northern Musketeers, set the veteran Oldenburgs and Royal Guard Oldenburgs active as well, some research there. And of course we got factory and factory. Let's with that, both players advance to the next age. So we're going to see what shipment the Roos will go for. Got Blockhouse in the middle of the map as well. He's maybe eyeing for the trade post. The reason why I say I need to just find some buttons here, since I rebound the movement key, camera panics keys to WSD, I have to go to every single menu and get rid of WSD. I want to do that for the civilizations I'm thinking about playing. We also got Blue eyeing for a handful of fishing boats. He's going a little bit greedy. We also have this here, which, and let's see, the Roos player is not currently building out any more couriers. He actually doesn't have any villagers queued on up, so slight oversight there. French is going for mass eco. Going for the couriers to support his couriers, or however you pronounce them, because I can't pronounce anything for a damn. Got a tamed wolf here, some exotic doggo. And now he's also going for hero mantlets. Let's see. He hasn't got any native combat benefits just yet, but he could go for them or get quite a bit of a healthy native army. Natives, of course, do have no population costs, very useful item to expand out, though they're a little bit expensive for their quality. But having no population house can save you quite a bit of money as well. Looks like the Cossacks not push way forward. The Explorer does go down, does force back these units. Got some recruits, a Musketeer variant. The Cossack are a Hussar variant that has one population space. Very, very population efficient, to say the least. I've also got a Clubman here that must have been a native he saved. 100 wood from guarded by those polar bears, and now I've got a native scout up here as well.
Oui.
Right now, the French have 20 villagers. The Russians have 24. Trading post not being forced down. I may have interrupted the music there by switching between players. Sorry about that. No combat music, yes. The Russians eyeing for more musketeers, more of the French villagers, and more villagers. The French are not pulling out anything just yet, as not any gold income or inadequate amount. We got, of course, a good number of Huron mantlets as well as the Cree trackers. There's at the Royal Embassy deployed on the field and eyeing for some Royal Musketeers. Let's see, Royal Musketeers do cost a little bit more than regular Musketeers, but of course they do have a little bit better. We can get a comparison of these Musketeers to them once it gets spawned out. The recruit in comparison has 18 damage, 12 range, 3 attack speed. And attack is 10 times 3 versus cavalry and shock. And the Royal Musketeer has a charge attack. Looks like it has a... Okay, it has a charge attack of a pistol, so it has a special attack, which has some good damage, 22 base range, 12 or 22 damage, 12 range, similar, and better hand attack as well. So overall, it looks significantly better versus the mass reduction Russian variant. We got some Cree trackers here as well. In comparison, this does have the same cost technically as the regular Musketeer, but you do buy in batches. I think technically it is still cheaper in the long run since you have to buy in batches. I don't see any queued up, so I can't really give you exact calculation. But he so far has gone for 2 training posts. He could go with a third one to get more EXP. He is going for stagecoach as well, so he's really going to eye for those trade. The French has a good number of fishing ships out at sea. Looks like the Russians eyeing for some more wood. Looks like he's not eyeing for any more aggression. He just have a good defense force, and that's about it. So he's in a stable right there, so maybe iron for some cavalry. 3 trackers. They are a skirmisher variant. They get bonus damage versus heavy infantry, such as the musketeers. And they're good versus light range cavalry, which this opponent does not have any. Cossacks are melee, if you can. You know, Explorer went down there, so now it's pushing down south. You have some Huron Mantis there. Their biggest benefit, they do similar damage as a musketeer. More damage, higher health, but much more expensive. Huron Mantis going down from both sides, besides has a handful of Cree trackers as well, more so the French. We got some Shirtless being deployed field, a dark cheap skirmisher. You get a group of 10 for, okay, each one technically is 838, 10, I can't tell you the exact amount, but they're a dirt cheap skirmisher. French going for some native warrior combat, I believe. Yep. Train post will go down in no time. We've got the Strelitz. They have 8 base attack. I'll make their way forward. Does get some good damage there on the Cossacks. Strelitz and recruits are advancing forward. Looks like the French line to fall back. These make sure those Cree trackers stay alive. Strelitz also skirmish themselves are not classified as heavy infantry. They're classified as light infantry, but they are squishy. 72 base health. Listening pursuit. So the Huron Mantis will likely go down. The French will need to get some reinforcement on the field. He is eyeing for more of the French or musketeers. He's maxed out on that, going for a handful of Cree trackers as well. And you get out his regular barracks in the field. He can't rely on the Royal Embassy for much longer since he is going to be pop capped on it. He's also pop capped around over here as well, so he can't rely on the natives anymore. Of course, Strelitz are very vulnerable. He does have a shipment available, going for a chest of coin. Trying to torch down this trading post. Does torch down the trading post and falling back. Now he can get to the next age. You may want to go for something that gives some defense or offensive capability. Military units. I don't think a fort will be able to deploy in time. I don't know what the French can deploy out. Now he has deployed out the Exile Prince. Or, nope, cancels that. He canceled it. It's not doing anything else at the moment, so one that may have been misclick. Nope, he's going to decide to go for a stable and start mass producing. He doesn't like the fact there's a large military force here. So he's not going to age up. He's going to get out any sort of military units he can. Hussars will be very useful versus Strelitz. They do bonus damage versus cavalry. They already have a horrendously bad hand attack and range attack, but it can be reduced even further. While the recruits, they do have decent speed musketeer variant. They do have a good bonus damage versus cavalry. Now I am for some fishing upgrades as well. Now I've got a big wave of hussars being put on the field. Once again, trying to pull out this trading post. This bear will go down. Oh, he named his explorer Charles de Gaulle. Eh. That's sort of funny. What did the bear name? What do you name the bear? Alexander Lavrov. That may have been a default name, not like sure. Charles de Gaulle. One that a name that people in the States should hate more.
Hi.
He's basically responsible for the Vietnam War. I'm just gonna put it that way. housing going on up. He is not eyeing to age up. He still probably should maintain his village reduction, honestly, if he's not planning to age up. He does have still more villagers opponent. Now he doesn't, but his village is higher quality. Russian player is now advanced to the next age himself. Wait a second. The Russian player is already in Fortress Age. He's going to Industrial Age right now. The French are not, he's not aging up. He needs to age up. I just realized how big of an age advantage the Russians will have. Oh boy. Let's see. He will have access to final auto cards. One-time muster of all Streltsy. Doesn't have a whole large amount of blockhouses, so that won't do much. Put all your northern recruits in the recruits into Northern Musketeers. Could be useful. Factor dragons at this point in time. When your opponent going for some head cannon could be pretty good. Oh, I guess it's up to him what he will go for. I also got a church on the front line. The French are going to be hit by a massive concave. Sure, let's do some good damage on the heavy infantry, the Royal Musketeers. Three trackers engaging, recruits engaged in melee. I got the Cossacks advancing forward, trying to completely circle flanks around to the skirmishers, the Kree trackers. But now I got the Hussars now overrunning the Streltsy. Now I got Hussars now hitting the Northern Musketeers as well. The French deploy a large enough force. He will be able to crush this force here. The two Falcons deployed out from the age up will now get overrun by the Hussars. And now he's trying to go out for a support check. Russian shooting officers, hand infantry with a large attack. Which will be useful. Streltsy will go down to the Hussars. They're not good versus them whatsoever. There are the Porsheks. They do have... I'm not too impressed with it right now. They will be useful versus these Hussars for sure, but right now they are not going to be useful because they're not pretty low quality. We got some cannoneers here, an obelisk gun variant. They are classified as what, heavy infantry? Oh, they're not classified as heavy, so they will not receive bonus damage from the Streltsy. They are classified as range infantry, but not as heavy infantry, so the Streltsy will not do any bonus damage versus them, being a skirmisher variant. Now I got the one-time muster of the Streltsy, so as they start moving the Streltsy, you have more Streltsy to replace the Streltsy. Now the Russians are just eyeing for a human way. The French had a really good opportunity there, but he has faltered. Going for his own age up now. Looks like he's going to a fast age up because that seems like pretty fast age up. He may want to go for a revolution at this point in time. Get a bit of food and just revolt. Because right now I don't think he's able to hold the line. He needs his he needs a revolt. He needs to be revolting. There's the age up. Guard Streltsy improved, supposedly not as Guard Streltsy. Going for a shipment of Falconets. He does have a bit of coin, so going for one of these mercenary units will probably be in order. Giant Grenadiers may be useful. Armored Pistoliers wouldn't be half bad. Those obelisk gun variants. Looks like the Cossacks or Objects are getting intercepted by the Hussars. Any of those, yeah, there's a number of them somewhere in this formation. I'm just having trouble seeing any of them. Maybe not. Did you ever lose them all? Oh well. Or was it the French that had them deployed on the field? I was the French, the hired cannoneer. Up, that was a Kree tracker. There goes, hired cannoneer is the last one. Let's see, it does do bonus efforts to heavy infantry, like cavalry, so they are similar to a skirmisher, but without being classified as light infantry. Yep. 18 range. Does classify as siege attack as well. So it is an armor-piercing unit. That's not, do not receive bonus damage from heavy or light infantry.
Wait.
Mass number of shots deployed on the field.
What?
The French could probably use some falcon nets at this point in time. Going for some armor fusiliers now. Armor fusiliers are classified as heavy infantry, so maybe not a good idea for Schmaltzy. Not a good idea to go for. Apparently, it's a good idea. Maybe it would have been better to go for the Giant Grenadiers. To get some AoE attacks, but does have 2 falcon nets simple on the field. Very good. Still getting a good number of fishing ships on the field. Most of the fish at sea has been claimed. That's not go past 16 fishing boats because there are 4 whale deposits there. So once all the fish are claimed, you can just go ahead and get those 16 ships. Fishing ships will be passing the whales. Armor pistol is pushing forward. Hussars making that advance. Falconet does go get there. Falconets will rip apart Streltsy. Yeah, and the entire volley didn't even take out a single Hussar. That's just... That Hussar got pelted, that's for sure. Looks like some of these Streltsy are being picked up by the Falconets. These guys are very tightly clumped there. Massive hits there by the Falconets. 3 trackers will still be useful, but now we've got the cavalry over on the siege weapons, but it looks like he does stop in time, save his Falconets. More hits there on the Streltsy. More hits on the Streltsy. Well, looks like the Russians losing his entire force. He's getting out more of the Musketeer variant. Which will receive bonus damage to the Creed trackers being a skirmisher variant. Does get some more of the recruits there. They do have good defensive capability versus heavy infantry. And this blockhouse will go down. He's going to need some more blockhouse deployed over here. He does get a good number of blockhouse over here. And someone still has Streltsy able to be deployed on L, so he does have some free Streltsy being queued on up. Does the free fresh blockhouses get the one-time muster as well? Does get some hits there on the Falconets. And it looks like the fresh blockhouses do get the free streamlets. Now, it's not exactly exploiting deleting blockhouse and rebuilding it to get more Streltsy, because Streltsy are dirt cheap and definitely worth less than a blockhouse, but does increase most of the cost of the blockhouse. Not all of it. And plus the Streltsy. He does, of course, get the Northern Guard Musketeers shipment in, so it does go ahead and turn all of his current recruits into Northern Musketeers. And of course, good against them versus cavalry melee. Also, Streltsy being fallen on back. Streltsy's just trying to deal with the Hussars. So these are full Crusaders, the advanced elite French heavy cav with the attacks in AoE, making them very good versus Streltsy. Which they're already pretty good versus Streltsy. The Streltsys will start disintegrating. He's going to get more of the Halberdier variant. More Crusaders being put on the field. That's going for some cavalry archers who are anti-cavalry tool. These forces just may want to just regroup here. The Streltsy are disposable. He does also get some of the Halberd or Spearman variant. He needs to be in a bit of more of an A move forward. That's trying to get gunned down. Streltsy now far away. The Crusaders being forced on back, doesn't want to be engaged in melee. Cavalry archers being forced forward. They do more damage to heavy cav. And more of the Rus forces now being pulled out of the field. He does have good reserve of resources. The French, still in Fortress Age, has a massive reserve of wood. He's running sort of run low on food. In fact, he doesn't have a whole lot of food income whatsoever. The French player needs to fix his food income. Grab those villagers that are currently collecting up wood and build some farms because he needs those farms. He has a lot of wood for farms, and the sea bounty is starting to dry up as well, so he can't rely on the sea. He could go ahead and get a couple more fishing boats if needed. More falconets being pulled in the field, which will be useful against his opponent's current composition. And he's unable to push forward to cleaning up the elk, so he does need. There we go. We got some. No, that's an estate. That is meant for gold.
Oui. Bonjour.
Definitely too many villagers there as well.
Oui.
I need to get out some farms, get some food coming on in. The plantations, of course, will provide some good gold income, given enough time. He's impressed with his bonus Russian play. In a couple of moments, the French think probably had a good opportunity to win the game, but just wasn't successful. He's also stopped building villagers.
Приказ? Что? Готов. Приказ?
Another Russian player is a pop cap. It's slightly over 200, shipping in some Manchurian cavalry archers, which does not provide any benefits to his current cavalry archers. Does have two factories deployed on the field, which will provide him with a good stream of heavy cannon. So now does get mass production research as well. So now he has some 3 heavy cannon being put on the field. The Manchus are just another dragoon variant, but just higher quality. After all, the class of the mercenary. French is currently pulling out nothing. It's still no food income. He's eyeing for more falconets. Oh, now there's revolt. It is all in. No, that's the Russians revolting. Did he revolt to deny the revolt from his opponent?
Готов.
Now he's the Hungarians. And the villagers. Now they're all military units, aren't they? They're Graziers, a colonial militia variant. Looks like they are a musketeer branch, which does do bonus damage to cavalry at range. Perfect against the French. Now got a massive all-in for the Russian. He has 210 population, or 203 right now. More heavy cannon being put on the back line as well, so he does have some population replacements. But his economy has stagnated. Does have some Hungarian grenadiers to blow down the field as well. The French had hold off the first wave. French is going for more falconets, which are a good item in this situation. Now I've got the 2 heavy cannons. Heavy cannons are good general purpose heavy cannon. They will be able to hit the falconets from farther range and with more punch. The Hungarian units are pushing forward. The cannons will get hit. The French player's not paying attention. Lost a falconet. That's a big loss. 4 times 5 falconet on the field, so there's 7 falconets. 2 of them been exposed. Heavy cannons need to focus down those falconets. And hit the French infantry starting to disintegrate to the heavy cannons, and none of these are tightly clumped units. I can see the sound effect bug is starting to activate. Still got the problem with the back line there, but starting to get overrun, and the French player does back the game now. It's Great saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.